Today is Thursday, April 15th, and I'm Derek O'Shea, and this is the Derek O'Shea Show. CNN camera crew attacked at protest/riot with Black Lives Matter supporters in Minnesota and being forced to retreat from the scene. Oh no, a little taste of your own medicine. Stop, guys! We never say you're a riot, we always say you're a protest. Now we're gonna have to say maybe riot, but only if you hurt one of us. Don't hurt us. Oh, and for the best story of the day, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said during an interview with USA Today this week that she would have been able to hold her own if she was forced to face off with rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. I want to keep talking about that. Please keep bringing those stories to me because it was such a huge ordeal. Nancy Pelosi said she would face off with rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol building. Yeah, right. Saying, and I quote, "Well, I'm pretty tough. I'm a street fighter." Street fighter. Choose your character. Nancy Pelosi. Oh, yeah, she totally kicks butt, dude. Street beefs with Nancy Pelosi. She said that when she was frightened. Were you frightened by the ordeal? Well, I'm pretty tough. I'm a street fighter. Okay. Then she continued saying, I'm quoting this, they would have had a battle on their hands. Yes, you and your 80-year-old frail body. Those 40-year-olds and 30-year-olds would have had a hard time fending off your street beef moves. Then she reportedly lifted up her foot and hashtag her leg, and I would have been like, if I was in the interview, hey, put that thing down. God, stop. What are you doing? She reportedly lifted up her foot, showing her 4-inch high stilettos, saying she would have, and I quote, used them as weapons to fight off rioters. Can you imagine like a 300-pound dude just running down the halls, taking pictures like they were doing? And just like she pulls off her foot. Hey, hold on a minute. I'm going to get the shoe off and I'm going to defend myself. Please stand back. She reminds me of like 13-year-old boys that are just like, bro, I could beat up anyone. You're like, dude, you're 13. You're weak. And you're like, no, bro. I've watched some movies and I got some pretty sick moves, bro. House and Senate Democrats were reportedly preparing to introduce legislation to pack the Supreme freaking Court, I told you, with 4 new justices. Past life Biden once called this idea a bonehead idea. Well, I guess when you become a bonehead, you can come up with bonehead ideas, blah, blah, blah. Democrats are all about power. Having the White House isn't enough. Having the House isn't enough. I gotta have Supreme Court. Now, once they start this, it'll never end. Because that's just ridiculous. I mean, oh, America. Latest Project Veritas video exposed CNN with CNN director. All these exposed CNN videos on Project Veritas are so obvious, but to those who watch CNN and think it's a reliable source, I think it's news to them. So I will continue to report this. And the CNN director said, and I quote, any reporter on CNN, what they're actually doing is telling a person what to say. It was always like leading them to a direction before they even open their mouths. The only people we want on CNN will let on air for the most part are people who have a proven track record of taking the bait. But to be fair, I think like a lot of news agencies do that because it just there's a lot of T-ball questions in these mainstream media outlets that are just you're just like, really, that's your question? What are your thoughts on this? But I just hate that crap about mainstream media. Okay, let's continue. And I quote, I think there's an art to manipulation and inflection, saying things twice. There's little subtleties of how to manipulate people. I mean, it's enough to change the world, That statement is terrifying and disgusting. If you watch CNN, you should stop. Maybe find a real news source. I don't see that. They're real, reliable sources. Right now, Netflix, Viacom, Amazon, and George Clooney. What? That list. Netflix, Viacom, Amazon, huge companies, and George Clooney sign letter opposing voter integrity laws with the letterhead, "We stand for democracy." Which is funny. They opposed voter integrity laws? I thought, integrity is all about being honest and the truth. So when I go vote and they say, "Hi, Derek O'Shea," and they're like, "Hey, are you Derek O'Shea? Do you have ID?" "No, and I don't want to show my ID." "Okay, just trust me." Trust me. "Okay, you have integrity. You can go vote." That's what integrity laws are. Not showing your ID, that would be integritous. If only that was a word. President Joe Biden on Thursday announced new sanctions against Russia. Yay. Please watch my video on the breakdown of Russia, Ukraine, the Kremlin, Biden, etc., that I did yesterday. Had some interesting facts on there. Expelled 10 diplomats in retaliation for the Kremlin's interference in American elections, its aggression actions in the Ukraine, and SolarWinds cyber hack, which was a huge hack. This is going to do good for our relationship. Biden's been doing great for international diplomacy. Mark Nicol, Kremlin's agent provocateur. The UK and US are impotent, and they won't take on the Kremlin. It's heating up. Ukraine foreign minister warned today that Russia is openly threatening us with destruction and has met with his counterparts Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia, all NATO allies. He spoke as the U.S. will not be sending ships to the Black Sea. I guess they turned around. They were supposed to, after Moscow warned them to stay away. Oh my gosh. There's nothing like showing your strong hand by saying, "Hey, we're going to send our ships." "Oh wait, no, you're right. We're not going to be a part of this. We'll just see what happens. Please, Russia, don't do anything. We don't want to join you in a fight." Also, to continue this international diplomacy, this Joe Biden team has done such an amazing job. Iran may start an enrichment of uranium to 90% weapons grade at its discretion. Okay. So Iran is building up their arsenal. I wonder what they want to do. Take out Israel? No. They're all just about being a strong, independent country. Sure. Minnesota cop Kimberly Potter, 48 years old, posts $100K bail after being charged with second-degree manslaughter for shooter of Dante Wright, 20 years old. So she's being charged. I wonder if the officer that shot Ashley Babbitt from the Capitol riots is being charged. Let's find out. Blah, 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 blah. We don't even know the cop's name. I hate that so much. When it fits the narrative, things move. But when it doesn't, it's all pretend. There was even a viral video going around yesterday of this white guy in a jail cell being shot by the cops. It was 2 against 1, and he just got shot. And no one cares. Because white people get shot more than black people by cops, but hey, don't do that. Don't say that. That's not true. If you look at the per capita basis on this, no. Let's just go on numbers alone. Okay. For some fun news, Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez have split. Oh no. What are we going to do? Biden's ambassador to the UN. Back to crappy politics. Biden's ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield, says white supremacy, and I'll let you know, Linda Thomas Greenfield, she's black, says white supremacy is weaved into America's founding documents because of the original sin of slavery. Don't you love when somebody like Obama, who's president, or like a ambassador to the freaking UN says that, hey, America's so racist. Yes, I'm black, and yes, I'm in this great power and make a lot of money and more than most people in the United States, but no, I come from a really racist society. You're like, okay. It's like every time LeBron talks about how racist everyone is and his millions and millions of dollars, and you're like, this doesn't add up in my head. God. Okay. And our vice president is not white, too, just so people know. But we're We're very racist. Okay. Don't think logically. You go insane. Think emotionally. You can just go with the wind. The head, there was this video going around. The head of Denmark's medicines agency, Tanja Eriksson, collapsed during a press conference announcing AstraZeneca's discontinuation. If that doesn't rile up conspiracy theorists, I don't know what will. The Denmark Medicines Agency person just collapses in the press conference announcing AstraZeneca is no longer going to be used in Denmark. Wow. House panel advances bill that would pay reparations to descendants of slaves. What if they're a quarter? What if they're a 16th? What if they're an eighth? What if they're a fourth? What if is it just for holes? Is it people, is it slaves in America? Is it slaves in other countries? What if you have, As always, the Democrats' plan to ease people's suffering is just to give them money, or to ease people from going insane, or to ease people from praying they don't riot and protest, or saying, hey, I know we wronged you. It's like your dad slapping you in the face, and you're like, "Oh, my face," and he's like, "Hey, here's $5. Don't you feel better?" A little bit. This is insane. Speaking of insane, viral video of Army sergeant confronting black man in South Carolina is charged with assault. As always, everyone waits for the evidence to come out before they rush to their conclusions. Oh wait, no, we only take a splice of one video and assume that this guy is racist and all this stuff, instead of just waiting for the evidence. I'm so sick of that crap. Maybe he's a big racist. Maybe he's a big jerk. I don't know. But let's wait for the evidence to come out. Let's not just look at one snippet video. It'd be easy for someone, if a dude came over and slapped my wife, and then you saw me get in his face right after that and was yelling at him, and then you only saw the snippet of me yelling at him, they go, "Whoa, there goes Shay is nuts! Get him! He deserves to be put in jail forever." Oh wait, there's more to the story? So sick of that crap. And today in history... Oh, wait, and Black Lives Matter showed up at his house yesterday and mustered up a huge crowd. That's right, because that's what we do. We intimidate people, and we show a huge crowd, kind of like fascism. And today in history, in 1947, Jackie Robinson breaks color barrier and becomes the first African-American player in the Major League Baseball. 1947. No progression nothing has changed in this country. Nothing. And I mean nothing. If you look at baseball now, it's still a bunch of white guys. Oh, it's not. Okay. If you look at basketball right now, it's still a bunch of white guys. Well, it's not. Okay. If you look at the NFL right now, it's still a bunch of white. Oh, it's not. Okay. If you look at soccer right now, it's still a bunch of white. Oh, it's not. Okay. If you look at tennis right now, if you look at golf, if you don't laugh at this stuff, you'll go insane. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Derek O'Shea Show. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a fantastic day. As always, share this news with anyone and everyone you know. Share it on your social media platform. Tell your friends and family about it. It's the only way we will grow as a platform. Thank you guys for being a part and watching me till the end. Have a fantastic day. As always, I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show.